October's usually the month where you want to play a scary game, but for me, I would rather be kicking demon butt in Doom VR. So let's dig into it. So I was expecting to play as Doom Guy. Well, that's not the case at all. You're playing another protagonist, and they took a totally different departure from the normal Doom storyline. So it looks like you're this random guy who was working on Phobos and he got eaten by a Pinky, which totally blows, and thinking about it, it would definitely happen to you. But the protagonist is given a second chance to have a robotic body just like Samuel Hayden to do some major damage. For the PlayStation VR, you are required to play with the DualShock 4, but you also have options for the move controllers or the sharpshooter, the aim controller. I decided to play with the move controllers because I believe that is the full VR experience for first-person shooters. Well, until I get an aim controller. The whole time I was looking left and right, flicking here and there, so yes, I'm gonna rate this game as intense. And it should be, since it is a Doom game. I'm not a fan of the control scheme, especially since he had to hit a button to go forward instead of holding a button to go forward. That's a little bit annoying. My second issue was the wheel menu. It was very clunky for me to move left and right. Now I came off PC where it's very easy to hit a number and you select your weapon very quickly. I would have opted more for a UI where you could actually select with the controller versus hitting left or right just to get my weapon. Due to the clunky state of the move controllers, I had to play the game on the easiest difficulty. But does that take away from the gameplay? I would have to say no, it doesn't take anything away from the game. It actually enhanced the gameplay because due to your clunkiness, you don't feel like a seasoned combat veteran like Doom Guy. Since the protagonist is a robot, it fits in perfectly with the control schema and it does make sense. The tracking on the move controllers is very accurate, so they did a very good job ensuring that the peripherals matched perfectly with the game. So whenever I did miss, I knew it was human error and not the game. In combination with this perfect tracking is really smooth graphics. It looks fantastic, and this leads me up to my first award, best looking PSVR game to date. The team did high optimization where it looks super smooth, and I'm pretty sure on PC it looks better, but on PlayStation VR, I think it has the best texture fidelity out of every single title I've played to date, and that includes Farpoint. The PSVR community would definitely argue with me that Astrobot is the best looking PSVR game. I'm not saying Astrobot does not look good. It looks very polished and very detailed. However, if you take into account the amount of detail that was put in per model for Doom versus Astrobot, with stating that, Doom wins. Now for storyline, well, I really don't expect a detailed or in-depth storyline because it is a Doom game, but it ties very well with Doom 2016. So with that, I would say that the story is done very well from a totally different perspective, and it's not done very cheesy or cringy. The storyline did keep me immersed in the game, and it took me about 4 hours to complete the game, even though I did play it on the easiest difficulty with the move controllers, which is considered very difficult to play with, and it wasn't that hard. So if you play with the DS4 or the aim controller, it shouldn't take you more than 3 hours to complete. My final verdict is a mixed bag, as I want to say it's a definite buy, but I'm a Doom fan, and I have to be objective. Doom VFR is a good buy, and I would definitely say yes, you'll enjoy it for the most part. But if you want a really good experience for a first-person shooter, Farpoint is a better option. That was a little painful to say, but it is the truth. Well, join me on the next one. Until then, see ya.